Caleb writes in, he says, "Hey, Zach, Caleb here. If you could cover one sport other than football, what would it be? Personally, I would cover European soccer because it's my favorite sport to play, but I'm curious to see what your answer would be." The number one sport I want to branch out and cover other than football. If I had only two sports I could cover, it would actually be American football and Formula One racing. I have become completely obsessed with Formula One. I just think it's the coolest sport. Look, American football is my first love. I love the quarterback position. The very close second is Formula One racing. I am so into it. February was a brutal month in the NFL because there just was nothing going on. I mean, some of the leading stories were like, is Tom Brady going to is he going to replace Jimmy Garoppolo? Is Tony Romo going to come out of retirement? I was like, these stories are terrible. And so I ended up watching the Netflix show series Drive to Survive about Formula One racing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so into it. And I let me tell you, man, I've been obsessed with Formula One ever since. My girlfriend makes fun of me because all I do is watch, like, I either am working on Strong Opinion Sports or watching Formula One. Either I've been watching full races on my phone. Literally, like, I watched the 2017 Azerbaijan, Baku Grand Prix the other day. Like, what the heck is wrong with me? I just love it. I've been watching races. I've been watching nerdy breakdowns, explaining the rules, watching YouTube videos, documentaries, reading articles, learning about downforce, hard tires versus soft tires versus medium tires, dirty air, how the points are scored. Nothing has grabbed me the way Formula One has recently. Nothing in years has made me this excited. Like, for me, it's football and Formula One, and that's all I really care about right now. I'm so into Formula One. I'm just obsessed. It's the peak of engineering. I watched, I've been watching videos. People make videos comparing NASCAR to Formula One. How does anybody compare the two? Like, Formula One is so much the superior. It's the pinnacle of engineering for a car. I just am so obsessed. They're so fast. They corner so quickly. They're so low to the ground. I mean, like, if you race a NASCAR and a Formula One car, it's literally a joke. Formula One runs away laughing, going around a corner at 200 miles an hour, while a NASCAR, like, blows in the wind and falls over. I mean, it's just, oh my gosh. People just don't get it. The G-forces it takes to drive a Formula One car. These guys are athletes. These guys are really strong, tough athletes. The G-forces on your body, the literal strength it takes to put the brakes on and slow down a car. I mean, you're going from top speed, hundreds of miles an hour, 200 miles an hour. You slow down all the way to make a turn. You turn at full speed. It's just like, I am so into it. I'm just gushing. I know I sound like a crazy man. I love it. One of the things I want, when the world comes back to normal, hopefully someday, I want to go go-kart racing. I want to get into that. I think it'd be really fun. And I want to do a whole episode of Strong Opinion Sports, probably in a week or two. Once, people want football. I got to give people football for the time being. But I really want to make a Strong Opinion Sports episode entirely dedicated to Formula One, to talking about the things I've learned, to sharing my passion, just my excitement, some of the problems I have with Formula One, because there are definitely problems. And Formula One has great stories. One of my favorite movies of all time is the Ron Howard movie Rush. It's about Niki Lauda versus James Hunt in the 1976 Formula One championship and the race to see who wins. And it's got Chris Hemsworth, who's phenomenal. And it's been one of my favorite movies of all time for years because it's undeniably a great story. Niki Lauda, James Hunt, they're complete opposite approaches to life. But since getting obsessed with Formula One, I actually watched it again the other day and just was like, had a new lens and new perspective on Rush. And I was like, man, what a phenomenal movie. It just gets me so excited. I watch it with a completely new appreciation. And I'm utterly obsessed with Formula One. I love it so much. And again, it actually infuriates me. People, like, NASCAR is awful. I grew up with, in America, the only option was NASCAR, and it's just NASCAR. Like, I get that NASCAR has some nerdy nuance. There's more than just turning left. There's a lot of other stuff, but the variables in Formula One are like, there's 1,000 more variables in Formula One than there is in NASCAR. Not to mention, it's just a higher level engineering. It's a higher level performance. It's the fastest, best cars in the entire world. There's a video of Monza where the Monza is in Italy. It's a track, and you see like regular. So there's a regular street car is one thing. There's GT racing, which is like cars that will blow your regular car that you can drive as street legal out of the water. And so there's GT cars going around Monza, like this turn. And like, man, those cars are going pretty fast. And then you do a side-by-side of a Formula One car next to a GT car, and like, it looks like the GT car is moving in slow motion. The Formula One goes, bing, 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 just going. You're like, oh my God. It's like a rocket. You're literally a guy strapped into a rocket going hundreds of miles an hour around corners. Just, I'm ranting, I'm raving. I probably sound like an insane person, but I'm just so into Formula One racing. It makes me so excited. I just love it. I just really, really love it. It's become my new favorite sport next to football. And I'm even more excited for the new rules to come out in 2021. And so, guys, that's all I have. I just am so excited about Formula One. I think it's my new favorite love in the world of sports. In case you don't know, Strong Opinion Sports is not just a YouTube channel. It is also a full audio podcast. You can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, pretty much everywhere you find podcasts. And if you like podcasts, please do me a huge favor and give it a listen.